Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Reflex explains controversial foul call late in Warriors NBA Cup loss. Steve Kerr went off for several minutes during his post-game press conference about the officiating in the Warriors NBA Cup loss to the Houston Rockets on Wednesday night. Crew chief Billy Kennedy used far fewer words, providing just one answer to pool reporter Jonathan Fan of the Houston Chronicle after the game at Toyota Center. The call in question was a foul on Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga with 3.1 seconds remaining as both teams scrambled to secure a loose ball. Fan: why was a loose ball foul called on a scramble situation 80 feet from the basket in the final seconds? Kennedy: the defender makes contact with the neck and shoulder area, warranting a personal foul to be called. The foul called on Kuminga resulted in Rockets guard Jalen Green receiving 2 free throws, which he made, giving Houston an eventual 91-90 win over Golden State. Kerr didn't hold back when talking to the media after the loss that eliminated the Warriors from the NBA Cup. I've never seen a loose ball foul on a jump ball situation 80 feet from the basket with the game on the line. K said, I've never seen that. I think I saw it in college one time 30 years ago, never seen it in the NBA. That is unconscionable. I don't even understand what just happened. Loose ball diving on the floor 80 feet from the basket, and you're going to give a guy 2 free throws to decide the game when people are scrambling for the ball. Just give them a timeout. Give them a timeout and let the players decide the game. That's how you officiate, especially because the game was a complete wrestling match. They didn't call anything. Steph Curry got hit on the elbow plain as day on a jump shot just clubbed right on the arm. No call. You've established you're just not going to call anything throughout the game. It's a physical game. You're going to call a loose ball foul on a jump ball situation with guys diving on the floor with the game on the line. This is a billion-dollar industry. You've got people's jobs on the line. I am stunned. I'm stunned. I give the Rockets credit. They battled back. They played great defense all night, but I feel for our guys. Our guys battled back, played their asses off, and deserved to win that game, or at least have a chance for one stop at the end to finish the game, and that was taken from us by a call that I don't think an elementary school referee would have made, because that guy would have had feel and said, you know what, I'm not going to decide a game on a loose ball 80 feet from the basket. The stunning loss drops the Warriors 14-1 this season. Instead of flying to Las Vegas for the NBA Cup semi-final game, the Warriors will travel home and prepare to host old friend Klay Thompson and the Dallas Mavericks for the second time this season. After Wednesday's events, it's safe to say Kerr and Kennedy won't be inviting each other to their respective holiday parties. Late game scoring issue leading Warriors toward mediocre realization. After a promising start to this season aided by a significantly revamped roster, the Warriors are tumbling back into their 2 worst tendencies of last season: turnovers, which are the subject of incessant discussion, and late-game collapses. Both were on display Wednesday night in a 91-90 loss to the Rockets at Toyota Center. This was the latest loss in which the Warriors were on the road to victory before making a U-turn into defeat. These finishes can take a toll on the gut and maybe the mind if Golden State's coaching staff and roster can't pull themselves together and shake this debilitating pattern. The NBA playoffs, formerly the Warriors Invitational, will proceed without them for a second consecutive season. The pattern of scoreless droughts down the stretch has to be addressed, or else we're going to be a mediocre team. Stephen Curry told reporters in Houston, I take responsibility for not being able to get us organized or not being able to finish plays. The ball is in my hands. I've got to make shots, but I think we all can address certain sets that can get us better shot creation opportunities, knowing how teams are trying to guard us, especially in the last 5 minutes. The latest debacle came after the Warriors latest an egg in the first half and spun it into gold for most of the second. They trailed by as much as 14 in the second quarter, but fought back to lead by 7 with 338 remaining. The offense then flatlined with poor execution, missed shots and turnovers in the final minutes. The Warriors committed committed 22 turnovers, giving Houston 30 points. 7 of those giveaways came in the fourth quarter, giving Houston 14 of its 23 points in the order. "That's our fault," Coach Steve Kerr said. "We didn't score. We had a turnover on a pass from Draymond Green to Jonathan Kuminga. We had done a great job taking care of the ball after that first quarter and a half. That was a disaster. Dre has got to make a good decision. He took a chance throwing it to JK. He's got to get the ball back to Steph Curry on that. He knows he feels terrible in and I could have done a better job getting us into something different to try to free up Steph or JK, so we all take it. We all took part in this one." Her was justifiably livid with some of the officiating, particularly a late game call that defied the way the game was refereed over the first 47+ minutes. But that's not a pattern or even a developing trend. Sprinkling turnovers liberally throughout the game and descending into untimely offensive droughts are more than a trend. They've moved into the next stage, a pattern, and are spiraling toward a habit. "We can talk about the refs all day," Curry said. "That's not why we lost, outscoring the Rockets 52-38 over the first 20+ minutes of the second half, only to be outscored 9-1 in crunch time is reminiscent of what has occurred too often for the Warriors over the last 10 games, 7 of which ended with them meeting the 11-point lead over Denver with 613 remaining, turned into a 4-point loss on December 3, scoring 5 points in the last 545, doomed them against the Thunder on November 27, and that came 2 days after a 3-point deficit with 326 remaining become an 8-point loss to Brooklyn. Bill Simmons predicts which team will trade for Jimmy Butler after an impressive and unexpected start to the 2024-2 NBA season. The Golden State Warriors have hit a bit of a rough patch as Stephen Curry and company have lost 6 of their last 10 games, which has sparked trade rumors once again in the Bay Area. During the NBA offseason, the Warriors were as aggressive as any team in the league in going after Utah Jazz star Lauri Markkanen, who many believed would be the missing piece to a potential championship team in the aftermath of the departure of future Hall of Famer Klay Thompson. After an attempt to trade for Markkanen and fell through for the Warriors, their options on the trade market were limited, as many foresaw Golden State being forced to stand pat, which wasn't a good sign for this team's chances of being a contender again in their Western Conference. Fortunately for Warriors, an opportunity to upgrade their roster with a proven veteran has surfaced, with Miami Heat superstar Jimmy Butler seemingly on the trade block and a possible target for Golden State. However, the Dallas Mavericks and Houston Rockets have been rumored to be Butler's most likely trade destinations, but Bill Simmons of The Ringer thinks it will end up being the Warriors. Golden State is the team, Simmons said. "I think it would be Golden State, with the NBA trade deadline still far off, with the buzzer sounding about deals being made on February 6. The rumors will continue to swirl in the coming weeks, with Golden State being buyers and Butler potentially being the big prize for contenders. It'll be interesting to see what happens and whether Butler gets moved, as it could result in a power shift in the West if that's where he ends up. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.